This webinar focuses on the bipolarization of global economy. The global economy is drifting fast into two global camps: the developed world, which is sinking under debt, fiscal deficits, and the emerging economies, including the frontier risky economies, which are relatively less indebted. More important, the former economies, reeling under debt burden exceeding 200% of GDP, are losing growth momentum as well. On the other hand, the emerging economies with less debt burden are moving faster on the economic growth path. The critical question remains: who would fund the escalating debt burden of the advanced economies? With declining growth rates, the developed countries cannot finance savings internally. This scenario is strengthened further by the risks of deflation due to deleveraging of economy as well as sagging consumer demand. Who else could fund the ever growing debts of the developed nations? The most probable candidate, of course, is the group of emerging economies, which will be growing 6 to 7% on average in the next decade. However, what is the guarantee of this global funding of debt by the emerging economies? It is rather difficult to answer this question at this stage. All will depend on the perception about vitality of major global currencies, including yen and the US dollar. It is noteworthy that the emerging economies, China and India in particular, are building internal resilience to absorb their saving surpluses and therefore finance their debts without dependence on the foreign sector. This scenario can accentuate divergence in the growth rates between the two camps sharply in the next decade. The critical question facing the developed economies of the world today is how to mitigate debt burdens without choking growth rates.